Hello guys, today's vlog is I'm going to talk about my grandmother because today is her birthday. Okay, but like she passed away in 2020. So that's the picture of my grandmother when she was still maybe single and available. She was still in her youth. And that was the last picture we had. I think the other time I went home, I didn't have camera or was so busy because I went home with my son and was not able to take some photos. So yeah, that's how she looks like. So I basically grew up with my grandmother since I don't know exactly when, but since nagkabuot ko, like when I noticed I grew up with my grandmother, I don't know, maybe 3 years old or even younger. So my grandma used to sew all our clothes, even our lampin, our cloth, and even diapers, uh, diaper cloth diaper, then even underwear and sleeping clothes, everything. And this one, my blouse, this is like Japanese style. So this was in trend. The style is in trend, and then I don't want to have the same color, the same style. So I decided to buy a cloth and have the same style but different color, unique. Okay, so that's how I have this one, and this has been with me for around 20 years maybe. So my grandmother spoils me, or I'm a spoiled brat by my grandmother. She would go to our relatives on December. She will visit, and then of course they will give her some money as a gift. Sometimes they're practical. And then my grandmother would always buy me imported chocolates, or chocolates that I haven't tried, and then stationery, stickers, those kind of things that I collect. And sometimes when my parents would not let me go to some events like picnic or whatever, because they will say they don't have money, so their money is their excuse because they don't want to allow me, then I would go to my grandmother and I will ask money from her. Or if there's a toy that I like, I would roll over the floor and cry so that my grandma will buy that toy to me. So that's how I am being spoiled by my grandmother. And she's very talented. She bakes cake even for weddings. There we have attended many weddings because my grandmother made the cakes for them. And then birthdays, every time we have birthdays, we always have our cake made by my mother and my grandmother. And then cupcakes, pancakes, that's common for us. Like anytime we can have pancakes. So that's why I also know how to cook, because I've been looking at how, as young as 5 years old maybe, or maybe younger, I've been looking every time they make cake. And then my grandmother can also cook anything. Like they usually put the best ingredients. Like it's always the best when we cook something. So we put love, effort, everything is there. It's really yummy when they cook something special. And then my grandmother also sew clothes, and she's good in at embroidery. Well, I learned how to sew by just looking at her, but then I did not learn embroidery, though I learned maybe with the hand. So I know how to sew by the hands and also using the machine, like the big sewing machine. I just did not learn how to cut the clothes, though I can cut some A-cut clothes, or like for sleeping, the pajama up and down, blouse and pants. For sleeping I can cut that one. That's like only straight cut, that's easy to cut. But the rest, like I regret I did not learn that from her. because that's also a skill. Like, and also my grandmother knows how to do the hair. She's very skillful, but later she did not indulge into that. Only in sewing, and then baking and cooking. So when she is invited, she could prepare anything. And my grandmother did not marry. I don't know for how long she didn't marry again. But she got two daughters, and she basically raised them based on from her own income, like sewing and cooking or whatever, like doing the hair. When she was younger, she said she used to do the hair of. She also used to work in a salon. So that's about my grandmother. And when we were young, um, in Philippines, they would let you sleep in the afternoon, like after lunchtime. But me and my sister, sometimes we will escape, and then my grandmother will look after us, and she would bring a ruler to spank us. and then and then when I'm the last one, I say, "Grandma, don't spank me," and she would not spank me. So, and that's my experience about my grandmother. And I wasn't there when she died. When she died, it was 2015 April. But before she died, because in 2014 it seems that she's dying, so I decided to go home in October 2014. And actually, months before that, like June, I think around June, she got admitted in the hospital, and my mother was so afraid that she couldn't make it. And I asked, please tell her to wait for me. I'll be coming home in October, because I prefer to see her still alive than go home when she's dead. And I was able to bring my son. My son at the time was 10 months old when we see her in October 2014. Then by April 2015, we went to Spain. So I was in vacation when she died. I was in Spain with, it was also our first time to be there, to be with the family my, of the father of my son. So that was my experience. And even if my grandmom had gone, I had 2 or 3 significant dreams about her. And I don't know exactly. I was trying to check when was that dream, because I had this dream. It's like I went home to Philippines. She died already when I had this dream. Like um, in my dream, I went home to Philippines, and then she was there, and we talked. And I asked her, "Would you like to go with me to go to Bangkok or to other countries, because I like traveling?" And then she told me, her response is, I can't. Well, obviously she can't because she's dead. But this is the message. I can't, but go on, enjoy with your journey in life. Enjoy your traveling. It's like she's telling me, go on, whatever you do. Go on, enjoy. I'll be there. I'll be there for you. And I used to travel alone in 2016. Um, my husband and I separated, and finally we got divorced. And when I was finding myself again, I said, where was I? Before I met my husband, I was traveling. So, well, this is what I'll do. I'll continue traveling. So, yeah, I traveled alone because none of my friends are able to travel alone because they have other things, So, maybe they like to travel with that they don't have enough money to travel. But for me, I managed to save for something that I want. So, and to made some investment. So that's why I was able to travel like every year. And I usually travel alone, and in those places that I travel alone, it's like, wow, I have some experiences. Like there were some people who helped me, like I'm really taken care of. I didn't have so far. I didn't have really bad experience traveling alone. Yeah, so far so good. So that's my experience. And yeah, the dream was significant because it makes me feel like my grandmother was telling me, "Go, enjoy. I'll be there for you. I'm still, even if I'm not there physically, but I will still be with you spiritually." So yeah, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I always have good memories about my grandma. I feel love, and you are the favorite one. That's fine. So that's all for today. Bye.